What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kids Move, and I am back with another video. So, The Last of Us, the HBO series, highly anticipated, highly reviewed. I think it's like a 96, 97 Rotten Tomatoes. I think a 97 Metacritic. High scores across the board. I wasn't really too big on it. I wasn't really like hyping it. What really actually made me watch it was my wife. She was like, "Hey, there's this like new show coming on HBO." She's like, "It's inspired by some video game or something like that." And I'm like, "Oh, you're talking about The Last of Us?" She was like, "Yeah." She's like, "The show looks kind of dope. I want to watch it." And I was like, "All right, we'll watch it." Right. So that's pretty much how because I had, I wasn't talking about it, wasn't tweeting about it. And I knew it was going to be like hype to the nth degree because it's The Last of Us. It's the most overrated game. It's Naughty Dog. It's Neil Druckmann. These guys are like I had not that thought it would be bad, but I knew that it was going to be overly praised. So my thing was just like there was no anticipation for me going into this. So we looked at the show shortly after the Weapon Wheel podcast. Weapon Wheel podcast is back for the year, so that was good. So we watched the show, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. I was impressed. All the talking points that was going into the show, like what Pedro Pascal, what's this little girl's name that plays Ellie? Like, I mean, obviously, those were the issues. Like, does what's her name? Bella Ramsey? Does she fit Ellie? She doesn't look like her. Pedro can pass for Joel and whatnot. Those were the concerns, but those concerns were immediately wiped away. Now, my wife is watching it as for a full-on casual. She doesn't know what the game is, right? She remembers me streaming it last year, but she didn't pay attention to who's who, what it's about. So she's watching it in a perspective of, oh, a new show is on HBO that looks cool. I'm watching it in the form of a perspective like, okay, I like the game is fresh to me. You know what I mean? I just played through both the games in 2020. So I'm going more so of the comparison to the game. I was like, all right, what they're going to mess up? Like, is it accurate? That's what I'm going off. So from jump, I feel like they did it right. They have obviously, the intro, but the opening scenes, you know what I mean? The intro, with Joe and Sarah, that story, the introduction of Tommy. It was just everything I felt was executed perfectly. And I was literally felt like I was watching a movie version or a TV show version of the game that I just played. So everything was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Like, that's accurate. That happened, right? And of course, and this is not a spoiler. Sarah, the death of Sarah, probably impacted my wife different than it impacted me. I knew it was coming. I just wanted to see how it would play out, but it was like a shock. So it was a cool experience. Just like looking at the perspective, me experiencing it after playing the game, she experiencing it from a fresh new show. But I can't hate, dude. The casting, I think, is actually perfect. I'm like, the job that they're doing, the way that they executed these roles, it's like you forget, like it's now a past that like that Bella Ramsey doesn't look like Ellie and this dude doesn't look too much like Joel, and that all kind of just sort of goes away because they execute their roles very well, especially the guy that plays Tommy, after the chick that plays Marlene, even the chick that plays Tessa. And I mean, and Tessa in the video game looks better. But the person that they just do a damn good job at their role. And for those, you know, obviously PlayStation fans, Last of Us fans watching the show comes to life. And obviously things that occur in the show, I mean, not everything's one-to-one, because you got to think about, you're playing the game. There's things that happen because of gameplay purposes, right? So there's some scenes you're like, oh, where's this scene? Well, you know what I mean? That was there for a purpose of you playing, you know what I mean? But everything that, you know, leading up to certain points, like them getting from point A to point B, the sequences there, they flow perfectly. And I feel like some of the, even things from like camera cuts and camera angles is literally for the game. And I thought that was extremely impressive. I wasn't going to do a review or like, you know, impressions video, but I just thought, like, you know, I got bored. I was thinking about the show. I'm like, man, that was a really, really good first episode. First episode is so good that, you know, the season's going to be lit. It's going to be a good season. They can't mess up from here. I don't think they can get anything wrong, because from the jump, they pretty much stuck by source material. And the thing is that with a game like The Last of Us, the biggest thing about it is the story and the characters. So it would be weird for them to tell a sub story or to veer off the source material and tell their own story. I just don't think it will work. And I appreciate them taking it one for one. So like, just a quick, you know, if you guys want to give a score on, you know, episode one's just a 10 out of 10, dude. I got no issues. They answered every question I would have going into it. It's like, all right, what about Ellie? How good is, you know, Bella Ramsey going to play Ellie? How good is Pedro going to play Joel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what about Marlene? And when they get to the and later in the game, other characters are introduced. It's like, okay, you know, they knocked this out of the park, especially with. So I think the casting was great. I think obviously the acting is great, and everything is lining up very well. So I have no more questions about the season going on. And they're executing it. I see a lot of people comparing this to, I think, Halo and The Witcher and stuff like that on Netflix. Halo, I'm not sure. Like, yeah, people are saying, like, you know, this is what Halo should have done. At the end of the day, I didn't watch Halo, so I don't really care. You know, I mean, I like, once, you know, I heard some of the things that I heard about Halo, I had no interest in finding out more, because I'm a fan of Halo the game, so I would rather them stick to the source material. The story they're telling in Halo, I feel like, man, you don't have to, like, I don't think Master Chief have to be a part. If you could have really told that story and been another Spartan, they could have took a different Spartan, and the story and the plot would have been completely passable. But some people like the Halo story on Paramount. But the thing is, I'm not really into, like, oh, Xbox and Halo, just you can learn from this. Nah. They already decided what they're gonna do with that, you know, and that team's gonna do whatever they're gonna do with that show. I'm not gonna like it. But yeah, I do prefer the way that, you know, The Last of Us is doing it, sticking to the source material, because you're bringing, not only do they have an opportunity, because HBO's marketing is off the charts. They have amazing marketing for their show. So not only you're bringing in outsiders in to the story who's just going to like it for the story, you're bringing in the gamers that experience the game, and you're going to just immediately get in a bigger audience who can appreciate it. You know what I mean? Where I think Halo, the Halo fans are turned off, and then there's a completely new audience who likes it. But that's the only type of comparison I'm going to do. Overall, though, Last of Us episode 1, pretty good. Pretty damn good. I'm impressed. Looking forward to it. Unfortunately, we can't binge watch it because it's HBO. They don't allow us to binge watch it, so we can only watch it, you know, at 9 o'clock Eastern, at the same time and whatnot. But I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and seeing how this thing plays out. What are your guys' thoughts on The Last of Us HBO series? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. That's my video. That's all I got for you guys. Of course, Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. See you guys on the next video. Peace.